Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas. Um, I just want to share something here. 2 days ago, I attended a conference uh, organized by a prominent nonprofit organization in Vancouver. It was for the immigrant community, their jobs, their career, studies, everything was the were the topics. Many famous and important people uh, gave us some valuable insights. So I just want to thank them, and also during towards the last session, I think it was the panel thing that happened. There was a, s- a question about something like the pathway to success, and everybody said about building relationships, continuous learning, developing skills, and so on and on and on. Okay, at that time, uh, I wanted to add something which was probably not there in the list of things that like uh, pathway to success. You know, uh, I want to add this thing based on my experience. I remember when I came to Canada, uh, I had my first job in YVR airport as the cook. I quit that job and then I moved on to banking. And everybody around me kept saying, so you should stay in the banking sector because it's solid, it's permanent, uh, it has got some good things. Yeah, I acknowledge that. But I had this thing inside me, like I am coming from a banking family. My mom retired as a banker, my uncle retired as a banker, my auntie retired as a banker, and the list goes on. I did my master's in social work with community development projects, research. Those are my interest areas, right? And I kept telling those people who told me like I should stick with the banking industry. I said if I wanted to be in the bank, I could have easily joined in a leading nationalized bank in India itself, like State Bank of India or State Bank of Travancore, like because I have a skill, I can do it. If I learn how to do it, I can do it. But that is not my passion. Uh, so I wanted to go on with uh, my passion. So when I was working in the bank, I used to attend interviews to join a non-profit organization, healthcare industry, as a community engagement specialist, like in a project or a research. So every time when I had this interview, I used to tell my supervisor that I have to go early because of this. So whenever I wanted to go early, the supervisor would give me extra job to delay me, to make me feel stressful. So after my work, I rushed to the interview because I had this work from 6:37 a.m. till 2:33 p.m. or I could leave early to attend my interviews in the afternoon. So I always scheduled my interview like that so that I don't miss any days of work. So I was not reaching anywhere, and I was struggling. I was desperate, because I thought I'll be in the bank, excuse me, for 6 months. Then I moved to my own industry. Time passed by. 6 months became 1 year. 1 year became 1.5 years. 1.5 years became 1.5 years and 1.5 months. Uh, and finally, I decided to do one thing: take the risk. Because when I was working in the bank, I heard this weird rule that nobody can take an off day on Mondays, because it's a branch that operates the corporate accounts, big money, uh, back end office, just stuff like that. So, excuse me, I have a bit of a cough and a sore throat. Kindly excuse me for that. Um, so anyway, this interview that came to me was from a non-profit organization, BC Center for Palliative Care. They were looking for a project officer to work in an advanced care planning project, which was funded by Health Canada. They were looking for somebody with a cultural background, because the project itself was uh, for the Chinese and South Asian communities in BC. So I did my preliminary phone interview with them, and there was a questionnaire. Excuse me. Questionnaire for me to fill out. Why am I joining? Why am I leaving the bank? What did I see in the? Excuse me. Even though I'm coughing, I want to say this now. Why am I in this non-profit industry and all? So I said the whole story. Who am I? What I did? My schooling, my college, my awards as a social work students that I received. So I wanted to be in the bank. I don't want to really be in the bank. So that was a very convincing answer for a written assignment. And then they called me for an interview. Unfortunately, they don't have any other dates except for a Monday. So I decided, take that risk, take a sick day, take a day off, go attend an interview. That was, if you think in one angle, I went against the bank rules, right? I took a day off, claiming I was sick. There was no other way I could take a day off other than calling sick, because the policy was like that, and my career was at stake. The longer I stayed in the bank, the longer I was going out of the non-profit industry. So I took that risk. I phoned my manager and said, I'm calling sick, I'm not well. And my manager asked me, you cannot call in because it's a Monday. We have bulk accounts and bulk international currencies coming in, so you cannot take leave today. I said, I am taking, because I didn't tell them that I was going to attend an interview. And that was like a ping pong game for me. I remember I found this building, the address. I was so close to the time schedule because I got lost. I misjudged the unit number with the street number, with the building number. And I reached there. I did the interview. I came back. It was a very long interview, I remember. The head of the institute and the project manager interviewed me. That was done. And I didn't have any hope, because all my previous interviews were like it was done. It was I didn't get anything. So I came back. I went to the office. Fortunately or unfortunately, my manager or the manager senior manager was on vacation for 2 weeks. So I didn't have that much issue when I returned back to the bank. So I started working as usual, and after 2 weeks, like if you consider that in one angle, I lied to the bank, I risked everything, I did an unethical thing, unprofessional thing, if you can say like that. But on the other side, I risked my job, my thing, my timing, my schedule, my work, my income, just to be in that industry that I really was passionate about, that I really wanted to do something, uh, so that was like a question mark 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, um, my manager returned from her vacation, and I remember just before a lunch break, I was called to the cabin where there was senior manager and my manager, because I was already getting frustrated with all what was happening around me in the bank, because it's a very stereotypical job. My little health issues, like my back issues or my hand issues, were not allowing me to lift some big bags and heavy bags and operate some machine. Even though I learned all those things very quickly with a very high productivity, um I couldn't just how do I say it? I couldn't just feel happiness in what I was doing. And what I did was I stopped talking to anybody, uh, and then in that meeting, uh, my senior manager, I remember, assuming that I have some psychological or emotional issues, uh, she gave me a counseling contact number that is given for the staff members of the bank, and she kept telling that I should call them and ask for counseling. And my immediate manager kept saying, if you don't like this job, you have to quit, you have to resign. She kept saying that, resign, 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 you should quit, because you are always having some issues, health issues, that issues, this issues, without even I'm not saying I don't I didn't tell my backstories to, I'm not a guy to who tells my stories to everyone. I don't want that in a workplace. And then, without even knowing all that, why am I not able to lift heavy things continuously? She kept saying, resign, you should resign, this is not for you. But I always ensure that I help the bank whenever the bank needed some expertise. To say an example, when the entire system was getting reset to an upgraded version of Windows, I was the one who helped the IT team. When so certain things, like whenever there was a new initiative, I took that initiative to learn and then move things faster. I was trying to gel in and enjoy my work and do things, but basically my health concerns and my mental health, my passion, everything was like bugging me inside the brain. It was all uh, uh, making me feel more and more desperate. So she said you should resign, and I was so sad. And I didn't say much to them because I knew that they are talking to me with an inhibition, and they want me to quit. That's the whole point. uh, a manager who wants their employee to quit and then they talk to us, there's no way, there's no version of this that an employee can convince that manager, okay, I'm trying to do my work, but these things are like blocking me from doing my work. And I've done some major things here, I've made achievements here, so they won't hear all that. So I was sad. I was get kind of mixed emotional feelings for what to do. Then came the twist. During the lunch break, I went to my cupboard, opened my cupboard, I took my phone, excuse me, and I saw a missed call from the organization that I attended my last interview. They left me a voice note as well. I clicked on the voice note, and they said, Thomas, please call back. We have sent you an email. That's it. So I read my email, and I was crying in happiness because I was hired. Finally. Excuse me. And I was in tears of happiness. Immediately after the work, I phoned them, and the manager who interviewed me said, like, she knows how it feels to be in another industry when you're so passionate about something else. So they wanted to give me a chance, and for me, a chance was enough. The rest I will do. I can prove it, So I was in tears, and I called them back. I thanked them for everything, and the reference check was done. And the reference check was very funny because the only reference I had was from India, from my professor, with whom, he taught me, and also I did a research project with him. And from the company I worked in a CSR project back in India. And I told the non-profit manager that I cannot get a reference from Canada. They said, we don't need that. What will we do with the reference from this bank? But there's no point, right? So that was done. And my thought was, I went home and I typed my resignation letter with 2 weeks notice to the bank, to the manager. So this is what happened. I typed my resignation letter, and I told them, thank you for everything, that now that you asked me to resign, I have made my choices clear. Thank you for everything. It was a wonderful journey. Never keep that hatred in your resignation letter. End your professional life in one organization on a happy note. No matter whatever has happened while you were there in the office or organization, once you are left, once you are leaving, don't keep any negative thoughts about your ex-employees, your supervisors, or the organization itself. And I quit the 2 weeks notice. And apparently my manager again went for a vacation. And the email was sent directly to her. And nobody else in my office knew until the last day of my work in the office. So everybody was in a shock. Of course, a few of my friends knew that I was leaving, and then they gave me a party. They ordered pizza from Pizza Hut, and even at that time, one of my colleagues, one person from my own community, tried to bug me at that point. If you leave this bank, it's going to be a very tough job. You will not be able to do it. You will face failures. All the negative thoughts. So I told her, I want to learn. I want to face failures. I want to learn. I want to go up in life. I didn't come to Canada to live my life inside a bank. I should move on. So thank you for your advice. And I left. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have a passion, don't leave it. Risk it. Take your chances. Take some risk. For better or for worse, take some risk. You might need to lie, as Lord Sri Krishna said. Some lies will have a very good ending. Some lies are very important to ensure your survival, your happiness, and the happiness of the people around you, right? Those who trust you, those who are dependent on you, you know. So there's if you are lie, if you are risk, if the chances that you are taking, check if it's really worth, and if it does, go for it. There is nothing wrong in that. Especially, it's your life, it's your career, it's your job, it's your school, it's your life, it's your world, right? So there's no uh, 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 sign of being guilty about what you are doing to achieve what you want to do in life. Follow the passion, take the risk. Let the people around you talk bad things about you, try to keep you down, try to demotivate you, try to put stress on your life. Don't bother. Just do it and show them what we have done. Even if things don't go well, and if it goes sideways, just give a tap on your shoulder and move on. Okay, guys, thank you for hearing me. Have a great night. Enjoy your night. It's almost 9:15 p.m. in Vancouver. Have a good night. Sleep well. Okay, bye. This is Thomas Shajan signing off. Bye.